A long time ago, the river and ocean flooded the earth. A brother and sister were locked in a yellow wooden drum. The water rose higher and higher. The sky people looked out and saw the flood. Everything was dead. Only a yellow wooden drum was left on the water. Punch holes in the earth so the water will drain away, said the king above the sky. The water went down. Finally, the drum bumped against the ground. The brother and sister came out of the drum and looked around. Sadness filled their hearts. Where are the people? Asked the sister. But the brother had an idea. All the people on earth are gone. Marry me. We can't have children. I can't marry you. We are brother and sister. But he asked her again and again, and she said no. Finally, the brother said, let's carry a grindstone up the hill. When each of us reaches the top, we will roll the stone into the valley. If the stones land on top of each other, then you should marry me. The sister rolled her stone, and then, as soon as the brother rolled his stone, he ran as fast as he could down the hill and stacked the stones on top of each other. When the sister came down, she saw the stone and cried. Finally, she said, I will marry you because it is meant to be. A year later, the wife gave birth to a baby, but the baby was not a real baby. It has no arms or legs. It was just round like a pumpkin. The husband cut it up and threw the pieces away. One piece fell on the garden, and it changed into the Vang clan, because Vang sounds like the word garden in Hmong. One piece fell on the goat house. Some pieces fell on the weeds and grass, some on the rice bin, and they became the other Hmong clans: the Li, Yang, Thao, Mua, Hơ, Xiong, Vu, and so on. The next morning, the village was full of houses. Everyone came to the husband and wife and said, Mother and father, come have breakfast with us. The husband said to his wife, I asked you to marry me because all the people were dead. Now these people are our family, our sons and daughters.
I say I'm Hmong. I live in Lao country.
Long time ago. Grandparents, they came from China.
I was in my country a soldier. I belong to American soldier.
I was army. Then my young brother did with the army. My families are mostly armies. They're mostly dead.
We lose our country. After that, communists come and fight.
Somebody is taking our country, so
I can't stay there because I'm a soldier. Even they come and they kill me, then I should move.
Someone go up to the mountain,
move out.
And say we try to bring the family through Thailand.
And say, you don't have a country, you can go our country, and then we just came
come
here.
over here.
If you ask, what does it mean to be Hmong? The answer is always the same. To be Hmong, we have to live close to each other and be willing to help our family. The source of identity and support for every Hmong person is an extended family group. As descendants of a common ancestor, a father, his brothers, their sons and their wives and children work together to help each other. The family group, represented by a clan name, is always more important than any one individual. Through clan loyalties and alliances formed by marriage, they are united into a network which is the great family of the Hmong. The Hmong gather every December in a celebration of family at the New Year. In a traditional ceremony, they walk one way and then another to confuse the evil spirits and ensure that only good fortune can follow them into the new year. Leaving their mountain homes in Laos has brought many changes for the Hmong. No longer are there familiar places and familiar spirits. They have journeyed thousands of miles from their isolated village homes and crossed centuries of technology to seek refuge in an alien culture. Refugee resettlement programs have scattered the Hmong throughout the world. By the early 1980s, over 50,000 Hmong were living in the United States. Nearly 10,000 Hmong live in St. Paul and Minneapolis, Minnesota. Over half of them have joined Lao Family Community, the Hmong self-help organization that sponsors the New Year's celebration. An elected board of directors and over 40 group leaders chosen by families make decisions for the organization. The elders have been replaced by educated young men who speak English and can solve problems in the new culture.
Next is going to be a speech given by General Wang Pao, the National Lao Family Community President.
General Wang Pao organized the first Lao family community in California. Under his military leadership, the Hmong were recruited in the 1960s by the CIA. In 1975, Laos fell to the Pathet Lao and North Vietnamese, and the Hmong, an ethnic minority in Laos, became the hated people, symbolic of the resistance to communism. They were forced to leave their homes and accept shelter from the American government, who had promised to take care of them if their country fell. In the United States, Hmong families still seek help and advice from General Wang Pao. The New Year's celebration has always been a time for remembering the past and preparing for the future. In the cold Minnesota winter, the Hmong can only afford to rent a space one day. But in Laos, the entire community looked forward to a week of festivities. Young women wore their finest clothes in hopes of attracting the young men who came to visit from neighboring villages. There were always many marriages after the New Year. Young men and women still play catch in an ancient courtship game. During most of the New Year, the Hmong are trying to preserve culture, but the young quickly adopt new ways of celebrating. For the Hmong in Minnesota, summer is now the time to compete in the games of the New Year. Volleyball, Karto, a Southeast Asian game, and soccer. The winning soccer team will travel in December to California to play in their New Year's games. All Hmong share a very large extended sense of family based on their clan name. A Hmong clan name carries centuries of tradition. Children call their father's brothers by the name father. All of their grandfather's brothers are called grandfather. Very distant relatives may be called uncle when they share a common ancestor. And anyone who has the same clan name is known as a brother or sister. A man and a woman with the same clan name can never marry each other. Marriage is more than a relationship between a husband and a wife. It is a way of building ties with other family groups. A family's wealth is measured by the number of children. Boys are especially valued because they stay with their extended family and take care of their parents when they are old. But most importantly, They carry on the clan name and their family traditions. As soon as they marry, Hmong men and women are eager to have children.
Baby's 3 weeks.
3 weeks?
Yeah,
away?
I don't know.
Is this your first baby?
Yeah, first baby.
Are you excited?
Yeah.
Pao and I had been married for 7 years in Laos and weren't able to have a baby. Since I didn't have a baby, Pao decided to take a second wife. But we left for Thailand, so he didn't have a chance to marry again.
Still anxious to have a baby, Zhe Mua and Pao Vong combine visits to an American doctor with the Hmong traditions of going to an herbalist and a spirit healer.
Having a baby is very important to us. For a Hmong woman, not having your own children to take care of you when you are old is like seeing water and not being able to drink it.
We'd like our baby to grow up and be educated so she doesn't have the same problems that we've had. We'd like her to be just like any American woman.
Pao and Zhe live with a younger cousin and his family. They moved from Texas to Minnesota together to look for other relatives. Their parents and brothers are still in Laos. The baby is given the American name Susan, but her family welcomes her with the traditional Hmong naming ceremony. The specialist in naming ceremonies invites the spirits of the baby to come home and live with them. The naming ceremony specialist knocks at the door to announce the name of the baby to the family spirits. She asks the spirits of the baby to accept the food and golden papers and promise to stay with the Vong family. She examines the toes of the chicken to look for signs that the baby is healthy. Whenever Susan travels away from home, she can always rely on a Vong to offer her a place to sleep and eat. The men and women celebrating with Pao and Zhe are friends and members of Pao's family group. With white strings, she sweeps away the evil spirits and ties in good wishes for Susan and her parents in the Lao Basi ceremony. Many of the members of Pao's group came to this country with no other relatives and have moved to the Twin Cities because there are many Hmong here. They have formed new family alliances by seeking out distant cousins with the same name and same ancestors. Pao and Zhe's next-door neighbor immigrated to this country almost 50 years ago. He and his wife have given them advice on adjusting to life and customs in America. As a Vong, Susan has both responsibilities and privileges. If she ever needs help, she can turn to any person named Vong. Zhu Li and her husband, Kaling Vong, are among the few of their generation who have survived the war and left the camps in Thailand. When they finally got to America, they felt alone and isolated. They moved from Chicago to Minneapolis with their son's family, so they could join the same extended family as the newborn Susan Vong.
I wish I knew how to speak English, but I am too old to learn. So I'm happy to stay home and take care of my grandchildren.
In Laos, Kaling Vang had earned the respect and role of leader that is given to the grandfathers. But here, he has to depend on his son.
I'd like to adapt to the new ways of this country, but then I see Americans go into nursing homes when they get old. Their families just send them out. That makes me feel sad. It's not worth it to raise children in this country.
All of the changes are difficult for Kaling, but he knows there are some opportunities that will make the lives of his grandchildren easier.
What do you say to her?
What's your name?
Oh.
What's your name? Mom.
Do you go to school?
Do you go to school?
Say yes.
Yeah.
Back in Laos, our daughters didn't have the opportunity to go to school. They work on the farm to help the family. I won't let my granddaughters run away and get married at the age of 14 like girls used to do in Laos.
Can you say colors?
I'd like to see my granddaughters and grandsons grow up to be educated, support themselves, and have their own homes.
No, I'm not. I'm only 15.
The thing is, the girls are, in a way, in our country, they kind of are looked down, or they're kind of like housewives. But here, I think things have to change in order to, like, it's another world now. So
the women have started a club. You know, they catch up with the American culture very, very fast, and they have started an organization of women's club.
The Women Association of Hmong and Lao.
Chua Tao and a few other educated women are encouraging Hmong women to adapt to life in America by learning to help themselves.
Our plan is to educate the women who have very little contact with outside, and we are looking into the Hmong art world. It's the employment opportunity, and we also would like very much to teach our children our folk dancing, teach our culture to the children.
We decided to form because we thought that we will be able to help the women more than what we can do it by ourselves.
Just everything. Lots of women don't know how to dress their children in the winter, the summer. Sometimes she came over here alone, and sometimes I come with them. In our traditional, our custom, a single girl, when they went out alone, our elderly people think that it is not safe for a single girl to go alone. They need their parents or somebody to go with them.
I hope to finish college 4 years if I could, and hope I'll be successful in life and get what I like to do in life in the future. When we come to the United States, life it's more fun. Thinking of marrying young, you don't have education, don't have job, where you're gonna get money and to raise children. So if the girls are wise, they don't want to get married very soon, I think. And if young girls are getting married very soon, it's just that the difficulties of school and of some parents would say, you're too old, you have to get married, you know.
Tong and her mother Chua Tao have stepped outside of traditional roles. Chua Tao is the head of her household and the first woman board member of Lao family community. In America, more and more Hmong women are being educated and getting jobs. Men are threatened by the changes, but both men and women fear the new independence may bring divorce and destroy the family network they have depended on for centuries. Because most of the Hmong lived in Laos as farmers or soldiers, they do not have the skills they need to work in a technical society. Li is a widow with 4 children. She is working in the Hmong Family Farming Project.
I'm happy to work on the land and grow vegetables. I have many children. If the only way I have to help support them is with my hands. I can't speak English, and I can't read. So I want to work on a farm if I have a chance. I sell as many vegetables as I can to the Americans. Whatever is left, I take home for my family. I only made $15 today. When I think of how much time I spent working in my garden and how much money I spent getting there, I wonder if it's worth it.
Thank you. I have 4 kids and my wife and my mother, my sister. But like my mother, she doesn't have enough money. She just got for one general assistant $54 per month. I just working to pay whole thing.
Most of Pao Shong's extended family has resettled in France. He alone is responsible for his family here.
We doesn't have new clothes. We just go to the army and we buy the used clothes. Like in old clothes that we cut, we make it small because of this small guy. I want to find it like a part-time job, but I couldn't find it. I look at a newspaper, Then I went to apply. A lot of people, almost 10 people, 20 people, better than me, they speak this American. They don't want me. They say, I'm sorry. Then I ran away home. My job I working almost 2 years. I just make $4.75. Not enough for my family. I think I can looking for another job.
I don't know speak English well. Can I take care of the children, stay home? I never go apply the job. I don't know apply the job.
She's pregnant and she need clothes for new baby and for my baby too, And I think right now she's not working anymore until next year because my kids are difficult to take a milk, and then maybe this one's the last one.
Sang Su Yang and Niet Tse Yang are brothers. Sang Su has become Christian, but he still plays the gang, an instrument used to talk to the Hmong spirit world. Niet Tse believes in the Hmong spirits. He continues to help others with spirit healing and marriage negotiations.
I like to have some kind of record for our children, so they would know what kind of people we are, what we believe, and how we perform our customs. I went to church with my family a few times, but whenever I went, I had bad dreams. I believe the nightmares came because of the unhappiness of the spirits. I decided to continue my spiritual belief until the end of my life. I would never go to church again, but my children can go if they want to. If I stop my children from going to church, it's like I'm trying to cut off my relationship with my brothers and sisters.
Sang Su and Niet Tse live close to each other and share their resources. Occasionally, they rent a video player and tapes to entertain the whole family. Both the brothers and their wives lost their first marriage partners. They brought children from previous marriages into a group that now includes the remaining members from 4 different families: Tao, He, Shong, and Yang. Although they have rebuilt their supportive family network, Sang Su's close ties to the spiritual traditions are broken.
When we lived in Laos, we had brothers and cousins who could help each other perform our clan's spiritual rites. But since we lost our country and our brothers live in different places, we cannot help each other out. Now we have to leave our enemies' traditions behind and accept new ways. I just go to church. It's easier to run my daily life. Even though I no longer celebrate my family's spiritual rites, my brother and I consider each other to be close family members.
Maybe 100 years ago, for the grandpa and grandfather, grandmother, they all together. They live together, big home, big family. We should live together. We cannot go anywhere for far because sometimes we got a problem for some people in our family, sick, something else. So we must live together for help, you know. So this was very important for our family, for our people.
Mua Vu and his extended family group have been very lucky. Their group has many survivors, and they are together today. The men all share the same grandfather and speak of themselves as brothers. Mua Vu is the group leader. He takes care of his sister-in-law and her daughter because his oldest brother died in Laos. His widowed mother and his sister live alone. They are part of everyone's family. Vaneng Vu is the oldest brother and the last to arrive here. His son Cao has a family too, and they live with Vaneng. Americans would say Tong Vu is a cousin, but the Vus call him a brother. Bi Vu is another cousin, a Hmong brother. Bi, Tong, Vaneng, and Mua all live next door to each other. Jua Yi's wife Pai had to work this Sunday. They and their family came along with Mua as the first of the family group to come to Minnesota. Su Vu followed them a few months later. Their brother, now Saileng Vu, sometimes helps with the traditional ways, but the family's spiritual leader is their father's brother in Washington. Sao Vu is the youngest brother. He lives in a fourplex with Nao, Su, and Jua Yi. Back in Laos, there were 32 families that considered the brother's father to be their leader. When they went to Thailand, half of the families were left behind. In 1976, their father came to America, and by 1978, most of the family had followed him here, but they were not together. They had sponsors in Oklahoma, Texas, Washington, and Minnesota. In 1982, the family was finally reunited. Before they fled, all the brothers and cousins discussed whether to stay or to go. Vaneng stayed behind. If he had a chance, he would follow them. If all the families got killed going to Thailand, Vaneng would be in Laos to honor the ancestors and keep the family going.
After my parents and brothers left Laos, I joined my in-laws' family group for support. They say they will help you, but their help is in words only, and it can't compare to our brothers' help. That comes from the bottom of their hearts. In Laos, I joined the resistance group for several years, but I couldn't bear it because there was nothing for my children to eat. So, in 1979, I surrendered to the Pathet Lao to survive. Then I escaped to Thailand in 1980.
I don't feel like the man I was back home. Sometimes when I take the bus to school, I still get lost.
Bivu was one of the last of the family to come to America. After only 2 months with his sponsor in Washington, he rejoined the family here.
To be a Hmong man, you must be independent and not have to rely on others for your needs. In Laos, I could work as much as I wanted. I could have a field as large as I wanted. But here, I had no land, no money, and no house. I can only live from day to day. Tomorrow, if I don't have the money for the rent, the landlord will just tell me to move out. All these things make me feel that I'm not a real man.
If you have something is broken, like the car broken, the car won't start, or the car they want to change for a brake shoe, change the oil, or something like that.
Salbu helps his brothers by fixing cars, and in return, he can call on them for help whenever he needs it.
It's not my car, somebody else's car, my brother, sister's car, you know. I can fix for them. We don't need it for the pay. We just have the free because everything is all money, all pay. You know, so we must help together.
We have to live where we can work. It's too bad, but the family might be split up because someone has to move to a different state to take a job.
We come over here, we already know that we cannot read and write. We should get good education.
63, right? Okay, we got 63.
The right triangle is always has one angle with how many degrees? 90 degrees. Okay. A right triangle is always has an angle with 90 degrees. And this 90 degree they call has one right angle. That's why they call right triangle. Right it means that 90. Okay, okay. It's something that you put down. Let's say right away. And this one, this is.
Do you like teaching here?
Not very much.
No?
But one thing that I'm very glad that I help my people. That's the problem. Because I know that our students and our youngsters are very low. So I should be somewhere in the area of school to help my people. After they know protect themselves, show themselves, maybe I have to change my future, my function, professional, to do some other thing.
Because Mua knows how to solve problems for the family, he is their leader. He helps his brothers look for jobs and understand life in America. The brothers say he's not the oldest or the youngest, but he has a good heart.
How come? You better to that one.
For my kids, I have to keep them in my hand, study hard. Maybe they know more than I do, and they will be my teacher in the future.
You got it?
Because some of my niece nephew come to ask me that, Uncle, you're so bad. You told me to do that, to study that. I don't like it. I would like to sleep very late, go to bed very early, except watch TV. I told him that that's a good idea for you. When you get older, you don't know nothing, what you should do.
Do you enjoy the Hmong New Year?
Yeah.
Do you like to wear Hmong clothes for the New Year?
No.
Why?
I just don't like it with long clothes. My friends don't wear them, so I don't like to wear them.
Pao Li and Caroline are children of Juye and Pai.
But I don't know, understand here. I like to make for him what he say. He doesn't want. He's even wearing the Hmong clothes. Before I made for him, but now he doesn't like. I don't know. You like it? Hmong is different American, because you have only one boy and he need a brother too. And if somebody fight him, he need brother to help. Right now they are still very young, they don't know anything, but they get bigger, they need sister. They say, why you don't give me more sister? I need sister. Nobody help me.
These are 4 of the Vu sisters-in-law, Jua, Blia, May, and Pai.
I have 4 children now. 3 boys and 1 girl. So I think it's enough. I say I need 4 children in the United States. But I have 1 son. My husband said, no, I need 1 more son. But right now I have 2 sons. He said it's enough for me and you.
In Laos, we needed a lot of children to help us work on the farm. Here, we don't need so many.
We don't have a good job, we don't have money, so we don't have money to pay bill for hospital. And it's very difficult.
I don't have children in the United States, right? But I have a person with my body. I don't have anymore. But I like to. I saw somebody there had a baby. I like to, but I can't.
Juaye and his wife Pai had 7 children. 4 died in Laos.
4 years and maybe 8 months and 4 months and 1 month that they are already died. I don't know. We have to plan for the future. But like our mother, she lived, we will never forget the war and how many have died.
I'm an old woman now, and my time has passed. I believe since women are the ones who give birth to children, they'll never create such a bad thing as war. They'll only think of the peaceful way. Ignorance. Let's leave it with my generation, because my generation is over.
My father died 2 years ago. In Laos, we would have butchered buffaloes, played the king, and burned papers and incense, but we were not allowed to do that in a funeral home. I am sorry we couldn't send his spirits back to our ancestors the way we used to. We did what we could.
Oh, I wish my husband were still alive. It seems so unfair that he died after we finally got to a safe place.
Father, as the old year passes and the new year comes, we honor you. Please come to enjoy this food and drink and money. We all remember the values that you have taught us. Whether you are up in the sky or down on the ground, we come to honor you. Please help us to live as clear as the water and as wide as the rise.
Going to California for Hmong New Year over there and to meet friends, meet cousins, everybody here there. And also I bring my team up soccer to play over there too. I had to go stay with my cousin and friend. I don't know which one I had to go. It depends because I stay there about 4 days. Maybe I stay 1 night for each family around them. I don't have enough time to visit them too. Our people, when we leave our home and we go to somewhere, most time we don't want to stay in a motel, hotel. We are not special, so we should meet together and see together.
Muavu knows he belongs to a family that extends beyond the Hmong community in Minneapolis and St. Paul. War has sent his people throughout the world. As they struggle to survive in new cultures, the Hmong face great pressures to change their traditions. No one knows whether the family will be able to provide the same support for the coming generations that it has in the past. But for now, wherever the Hmong go, they will seek out other Hmong, find family connections, and welcome each other as brothers and sisters.